Lesson 1, Unit 3. The results chain. The results chain is a logic model that represents the project approach as a linear process to achieve a result. It is represented as a graphic to show the sequence and relationship of the project components. It maps the causal links between the inputs, activities, outputs, outcomes, and impact. This change of links shows the logical order for these components to meet the desired project goals. They have other names such as causal models, causal chains, impact models, or impact logic. In this course, we'll use the term results chains to refer to the cause-effect relationship of these components. Results chains are logic diagrams showing the intervention and assumptions that link the key components of the project. A results chain should clearly demonstrate the cause-effect relationship between inputs, activities, outputs, outcomes, and impact levels. It shows that with the adequate inputs, the project can carry out the planned activities. The activities produce outputs, the outputs lead to outcomes, and the outcomes contribute to the impact. The results chain usually consists of 5 components: the inputs, like financial, people, and other resources, and activities, construction, training, workshop, distribution, information. These are part of the implementation. Outputs, the immediate results, people trained, water wells constructed. The outcomes, the skills acquired or behavioral changes, and the impact, improvements in health, reduction of diseases to which the intervention contributes, are part of the results. At the first level, we have inputs. These are all the required resources the project needs to carry out the activities and produce the outputs. Consider inputs as the raw material or the ingredients that the project needs to bring about the changes or results that are expected. They represent the investment that the stakeholders make in the project. Examples of inputs include the financial resources, human resources such as people with the skills to build water systems, including technology, information resources, materials, and equipment needed by the project. Every project will have a different need of inputs. Some inputs can even include the participation and contribution by key stakeholders. Activities are all the tasks and actions that the project will carry out in the course of the project work. Activities will use the inputs, resources, to produce the specific deliverables such as goods or services. Activities constitute the process to convert the ingredients or inputs into outputs. The project is in full control of activities. Examples of activities include construction of water wells, development of training material, delivery of workshops, meeting with the beneficiaries, and even collection of monitoring data. Outputs are the project deliverables. They are the immediate or short-term results. Outputs are the products or services generated by the activities, and they provide evidence that the activity did occur. Note that a complete activity does not necessarily mean an output has been achieved. They are immediate, concrete, tangible, and mostly visible results. The project is also in full control of delivering the planned outputs. Examples of outputs include water wells completed, latrines constructed, people trained in maintenance of water systems, pamphlets distributed, and beneficiaries trained in safe hygiene and sanitation practices. Outcomes are demonstrable changes in behaviors or conditions resulting from the project outputs. Outcomes represent changes in behaviors, attitudes, perceptions, awareness, etc. They are the medium-term results. They are usually defined in terms of change in levels of understanding and behavior among the group of beneficiaries. Examples of outcomes include changes in awareness, knowledge, attitudes, behavior, and practices. Outcomes are changes in the conditions of behaviors. Outcomes can be divided in 3 levels, depending on the needs of the project. The 3 types of outcomes are short-term, medium-term, and long-term outcomes. They are also known as impact. The idea behind breaking up the outcomes into levels is to provide information to help the project assess if the design logic of the results change is having some effect in the group of beneficiaries without having to wait for a midterm evaluation. The first outcome level, short-term outcomes, are related to learning. There are changes in awareness, knowledge, attitudes, skills, opinions, aspirations, and motivation of the group of beneficiaries. Example is learning how to maintain a water system and awareness of the benefits of good sanitation practices. They can be measured after the project outputs have been delivered, and they provide insight about the early effectiveness of the project interventions. Positive change means the logic of the project intervention is sound and works. No changes or even negative changes means that there are problems with the project design, the logic of the intervention, or problems with the initial assumptions. Medium-term outcomes are related to actions. These are behaviors, practices, decisions made, policies affected, or social actions taken by the beneficiaries. Example, adopting new water sanitation practices such as washing hands before cooking meals. It shows that beneficiaries are using the knowledge they acquire. These changes take longer to be realized and may be beyond the life of the project to see their full effect. They will be measured during the project evaluation. Long-term outcomes, also called impact, are related to changes in the conditions, which include changes in economic, environmental, human health, or social conditions that may ultimately change as a result of action taken by beneficiaries. They also include changes in the living standards of beneficiaries. For example, reduction in disease related to poor water sanitation practices. Impact is the ultimate goal. It's a long-term development objective to which the project contributes. Changes at this level take longer to achieve, and the project only contributes to this ultimate goal. Changes at this level occur from other initiatives, and the project cannot fully attribute the change only to the interventions, which is the combination of achieving the outputs and outcomes. These results are measured in impact evaluations that can occur long after the project has ended. For example, the project contributed to the overall reduction in cases of people with disease caused by the lack of water and sanitation facilities. Other initiatives also contributed to the changes, such as projects from other organizations and even government policies and investments in infrastructure. The result change is a representation of the project logic. It describes the components that are necessary in order to achieve the expected benefits. The results change shows the cause-effect relationship between inputs, activities, and results. That means if the project completes activities and delivers the outputs as planned, then it can assume to have the expected results. An important feature of the results change is that inputs, activities, and outputs are components that the project has control, while outcomes and impact are areas the project only has influence. The result change depends on a series of assumptions that hold the logic of the cause-effect relationship. As with any change, the strength depends on its weakest link. The relationship between each element depends on assumptions, and if these assumptions do not hold, then the change breaks. This is an important condition of the results change. During the design of the project, the team will have to make a good analysis of the internal and external conditions of the project. Assumptions are the favorable conditions the project expects to exist at the moment of implementation. Assumptions such as active participation of beneficiaries. If the assumption is weak, then the logic of the project is at risk.